Great to be alive. Hello.
Morning. Morning.
Hello,
Yeah. I'm
hello.
Hi.
Nigerian network na nuisance. Hello, sir. Can you?
Hi.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Okay, okay. Just having some network issues here.
Yeah, I can understand. No problem.
So, okay. You're welcome to the Mind Blossom series. Nice to meet you, sir.
Thanks. Nice to meet you.
I'm Godwell from Nigeria,
Oh, wow.
and I'm anchoring. Yeah. So, we want to have a little
Sorry,
interview,
you're breaking. I can't hear you
Blossom
properly.
series.
Your audio is breaking. I can't hear you properly.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Yeah, okay. So, music, our daily life. Did you
It was
get
not
that?
audible. Yeah, can you please repeat? It was not audible.
Hi, Subhashish. Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. If my screen is not visible, please don't mind. Due to network issue, it might turn off. All
Okay.
right.
Should I?
And since
Camera.
yeah,
Great.
you
Yeah.
can put your like video on.
Okay.
Actually, due to network issue, our host didn't continue the uh, today's interview, but we are live from like 12 minutes, and we should start, I believe, because he's having a lot of issue and he is in the network. He will join later on if
Okay.
it's
Fine.
possible in his part. All right, then today marks the beginning of the most awaited like series episode of Let Your Mind Blossom, where we talk about the most unspoken or the most like uh, most important genre of music, jazz, with none other than a very talented musician, a very talented musician who is dedicated, who has dedicated a lot of time and effort in the scene, a guitar player, instructor, songwriter with an experience for 12 years with a band in Bengal, but now working as an individual. Subhasish Mandal is more into indie music over commercials and thinks it would be fun to discuss music with us. So welcome, Subhashish. Sir, if I am allowed to address you, sir, and we can join with God do will in subsequent session. We both will be synchronizing our interview today. If there is any hindrance, please forgive us.
No problem.
Any interference due to network issue is quite disappointing, I know.
No problem. It happens.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining back again, God do well. We're continuing with the interview.
Okay, sorry, the network here is so bad and terrible.
Yeah, you can
Um,
continue with your questions,
I
even if
really
the screen
apologize for.
freezes.
Okay, now the first question here we are having on jazz is jazz seems to be instantly recognized and distinguished as something separate from other forms of musical expression. Like in the sense, let me give a little light on it. In the sense that jazz is something separate from other musics. How
Yes.
and why?
Yes. We can easily recognize a jazz number, right, by listening only. Cause for its unique style of music. Now, we have to know what is the key elements of jazz that really create the difference between other genres. So the first one in my mind is the syncopated rhythm pattern. Now, if we think about the history of jazz, if we go in 30s in 40s, then we can see the main rhythm section of jazz is came from Latin music, from African rhythm patterns, and there are lots of syncopated rhythm patterns in these sections. So that's why jazz rhythms, it sounds something different from others. Now the second one I want to add is a complex harmony. Now when you're listening to a music, a rock song or a pop song, then we have a particular key. On this particular key we have a chord family, and we pick up the chords from there to create a chord structure of that song, right? But in jazz, we don't use normal
Okay.
chords. We use extended chords. So what we do, we maybe borrow notes from other scales. And that's why it sounds totally different in section of the harmony. It sounds totally different from other genres. And the third one is the most important and my favorite, that is the improvisations. In jazz, we have a lot.
Can you still be a
Yes.
little bit audible?
Sorry?
Okay,
Can you please
thank
repeat?
you very much for that very wonderful reply on it. And now this take us to the second question on this. very wonderful broadcast on jazz. The sounds and way jazz musicians make in their instrument whenever they are playing it. Yes, people do say it's similar to other music. Do you agree or you disagree?
Okay, so jazz is most about the instinct. It's not a written music like we have when we are going to play a classical piece. It's more into written music. How the composer have has been composed a music, we have to play in the same way. But for jazz, there's a lot of freedom to improvise, to
Okay.
break down the rhythm. So it's not necessary to play the same melody. When jazz musicians jam together, it's more about listening and playing. It's like call and response. So someone is playing a phrase on his instrument, and other one is replying to that phrasing using their
I agree.
instrument. So it's like a call and response. So I can say. So what was the question? Hello, hello.
Yeah, he asked the sounds that jazz musicians make on their instruments, the way they struck, inflect, release, embellish, and color notes
Mhm.
characterize jazz playing to such an extent that if a classical piece was played by jazz musician in their idiomatic phrasings, it would in all likelihood be called jazz. Do you agree, disagree, or agree to disagree?
Okay, well, it depends because jazz has classical influence too. Uh, Classical pieces, just now I said, it's like more about composer driven. So we have to follow the composer, how he has interpreted the music. Now for the jazz, it's more like a performer driven. So performer has a lot of freedom to do their own things. Now, if a jazz musician take a classical piece and do something in their own way, and if it sounds like a jazzy, then I'm open to call it jazz.
Okay. Thank you very much for that wonderful question and that wonderful answer, and it really helped. But the
Sure.
next question here is: the jazz performer is primarily or wholly a creative, improvising composer, his own composer as it were, whereas in classical music, the performer typically expresses and interprets someone else's composition. Do you have such experience
Yeah, I do. So
in
when
jazz
I'm playing,
music?
yeah, that was a question.
Hello.
The jazz performer is primarily or wholly a creative, improvising composer, his own composer, as it were. Whereas in classical music, the performer typically expresses and interprets someone else's composition. Do you have any such experience?
Yeah, I
So
have. So Godwell is gonna say
the
something.
the jazz
Should I continue?
Yeah,
can
you
you
can continue.
Okay. So what I was saying, yeah. So when I'm playing a classical piece, suppose take Air in G by J.S. Bach. So when I'm playing that piece, I have to exactly play the same way how the music is written in front of me in staff notation, right? So I have to follow all articulations, all
let me come
dynamics.
again? The jazz performer
Are, are,
improvise his own composer. It will
you can continue speaking.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So when I'm playing that classical piece, I have to follow the instruction of the composer, how he wants us to play his compositions. Now, when I'm playing a jazz number like the Autumn Leaves by J. Cosma, if I want to play Autumn Leaves, now I have a lot of freedoms to play other notes, to add other color harmonies, and play chromatics over. So it's not about playing only the melody. I can do improvisation when I'm jamming with other jazz musicians on the particular piece. Then there are lots of scopes to play other melodies, other rhythm patterns. But I believe in classical music we don't have that much freedom.
All right, we can continue to the next question then. It's like a lot of experience that musicians have while doing their performance and having in the preliminary stage in the like composition of tracks, I believe. Jazz is quite a different genre, hence a lot of effort goes into it, I believe.
Yeah.
Hmm. All right, then the next question follows. Let us know your thoughts on jazz and essential.
So the main question, like the main answer is why we want to learn, why we should learn jazz, right?
Why do you think it is inessential in today's time or yesteryears or in the future? How has it shaped to be an essential genre? Or how has jazz shaped in, might be, in conflicts? Has there been instances where jazz has played an important part in solving a conflict? Uh, like, yeah, just let us know.
So jazz music can help us to shape our character by giving us courage. So we can prepare ourselves for improvisations. It helps musicians to develop their listening skills also. So when we are playing in a jazz band, we have to listen each and every single note because those are important. If we miss that note, we can't play along with those musicians. It will be difficult because we have to play the response of what they are playing, right? So it helps to develop the listening skills also. And I think jazz is important for everyone, for younger one who have just started music, and the older one who have a good musical experience. They also can learn jazz if they have not learned before.
All right. All right, there is a question from the audience,
Mhm.
which says early jazz developed in the 1910s in the melting pot of New Orleans as players combine influences including ragtime, blues, and marching band music to create a style of jazz that was heavy on collective polyphonic improvisation. How you find this essential as a jazz artist?
So obviously, like if we look at the history of music, the 90s era, so there are like 30s swing is there, 40s bebop is there, bluegrass, salsa, samba, those all are subgenres of jazz. And blues is the main key of jazz. The melodies we play in jazz is mainly came from the blues. So every genres from past have influence in jazz, and it's like an evolution of music. Jazz is more like a modern music right now. The main
Hmm.
jazz we are listening right now, it's mainly came in 20s era. Before that, it was something different. It was something like swing, bebop, then yeah, that was I am saying.
All right. I hope our audience has got his answer. And the next question is like, how can we build a sustainable music ecosystem to support musicians for future disruption in any genre?
That is a nice question. So we have first of all we have to support our local artists. I think because they have a lot of potential now. In India, I can say in India we don't support the indie music that much. But for last few years, that has been changed. Now we started supporting the indie music again, and social media is also playing a great role there. So now one can create their own audience from their bedroom only. So we have a lot of options to go through as a musicians. We can create our YouTube channel. We can create songs like own compositions. in the home studio only, and we can spend it to the social media, electronic medium that we have available. And right now the situation is going to the better, and the indie music is taking the front seat, I believe. And through this way we can build a sustainability in the indie music and in all over the genres.
Hmm. Nice to hear you. I hope the entire music scene, the independent musicians are working their part, and like in every part of the
Yeah,
country is developing.
I'm back now.
And
I'm back.
thank you. Thank you for joining us back again, Godwell. And as we are discussing, uh, it's like the change in the scene is quite relevant and prevalent in today's time, because everyone is like growing from the scratch. uh,
Correct.
the COVID times taught us like we don't
Like,
have to be
and
dependent.
correct.
Yeah. And every musician, every individual in the music scene has faced a lot of problems, and they're growing in their own way. Thank you for having a wonderful point of view as well, and maybe know what's brewing next for your listeners.
So right now I'm working on few own compositions, which are gonna release soon on digital medium. So I'm working on three, like it's like a EP. So there are three songs. So I'm working on that right now.
All right, can we hear something from you right now?
Yes, why not?
Great.
I hope my guitar is audible.
Yeah, you're audible.
So it's a Bengali song right now. I'm working on.
All right.
ফেলে রেখে পিছু টান, পিয়ানো পাশে গিটার, বৃষ্টি জলে ভিজে চোখ কাটে, আমাকে পাবে না, আমাকে পাবে না, তুমি আমাকে পাবে না, এমনি করেই হঠাৎ সেদিন আমাকে পাবে না। ভেসে যাব নদীতে, ভেসে যাব নীলেতে, ফিরতি স্রোতের ফিরে আসা তারে, আমাকে পাবে না, তুমি আমাকে পাবে না, আমাকে পাবে না, এমনি করে হঠাৎ সেদিন আমাকে পাবে না।
Wow, such a nice composition.
Thanks. So like this, I'm working on two more compositions, and those compositions will be released soon. And my vocal is also not well, so please excuse me for that.
It's like wonderful to hear from you, even if your vocals are a bit low today. But like we really want to hear more from you, because you're very talented, and we know how much struggle a musician have to face while they are in the growth journey, right? So let us know your growth in the journey of music.
Well, so I picked up the guitar when I was 16, and then I learned from a local person. So he was my guru here. So I learned there for 3 years. Then I started with a band. Then after doing few shows with that band, then I thought to start my own setup. So It was a nice band called Arhan from Bengal, West Bengal, Kolkata. So we had a few OPs compositions. Then I moved to Hyderabad eventually after completing my engineering, and there I worked not as an engineer but as a music educator. I started working in an academy, and from there till today I'm also learning different genres, doing my own compositions, doing the productions, and this is how it's going.
All right. I know it's very hard for independent people in the music, independent musicians, independent people who want to grow from the who want to make their bases strong with classical music as well as Western fusion, and it's a very hard journey for people, and people always prefer classical music over Western music, and all those scenes changed with time as people they have started appreciating a lot of indie music here in my state, in my part of the country. The scene is very much the alternate. Here, independent musicians are celebrated. They are welcomed with open hands, and
Yeah.
they are celebrated in every festival, every music festival or any kind of celebration. Hence, it's like it differs from state to state, or it differs from country to country, but music is same everywhere, anywhere, and it unites people. It lets people to think about themselves, think about the issues in general, or have a perspective about life, not just existing, about living life, and
So
and a lot of things. What do you think?
so I think music is, yeah. So for me, music is like doing meditations when I'm practicing that time. Actually, I'm doing the meditation myself, and it helps in personal growth. It helps and in all over the aspect of life to know life better. What is life? How you should react to others. Music teaches a lot.
Exactly. I myself am influenced with a lot of musicians in my own home as well. They always push me forward to do a bit in life, including the studies and all. They always prefer me being in a music sphere. At times, it's very hard and difficult for me as well,
Right?
where people mostly out of my family, though they don't appreciate. Some people don't appreciate, like why are you starting a music journey at the age when you should be like just doing a job, or you should be just applying for jobs where you are settled and all. I say, well, let me try my luck and my part. Maybe I had to contribute in the scene, maybe I had to help people, maybe I had to contribute towards the growth of an individual. Hence, it's like an honor to always interact with people from the scene, and have a sense of purpose in life while interacting with such dignitaries. I believe music is enough established, and we can like add more add more essence to the scene. It's already cultivated well here in India and other parts of the world, and like an audience of ours asked me can our guest tell us about the blues as well along with the jazz?
Yeah, sure. I love to talk about blues.
Please let them know your point of view, your perspective with
Blues is a
blues.
mother. It's like a mother language. So whatever we are doing it right now in our whole world, rock, pop, all genres are influenced from blues. So that is like a mother. And the blues scale, using that scale, when you're playing those scales, or else you're doing the improvisation scales, you can feel a emotional attachment with your instrument. I believe that, and that is the main key of playing blues. You have to attach yourself, your instrument with your soul, and then only you can speak well through your instrument. Blues is also like call and response. There is a call and there is a response. It's all about how you talk. The same way you need to play the guitar.
Yeah, we felt the like the essence of your song as well when you were playing your original composition today. It was like it's just flowing. It
Yeah,
was
it's
a natural flow.
yeah. So it's a slow composition. When I was composing this song, what was in my mind is a river only. So I'm floating in a river in a boat, and it happened eventually when I was floating in river. The melody came hit my mind. So
Wow.
maybe the song also has that essence flowing in the river flow.
Mm. Many people have misconceptions, and rumor has it like jazz and blues and any kind of genre, they're hard to implement and hard to grasp.
Okay.
Implement in original composition, or they're hard to like have fusion is like some people can't even bear the word fusion because they just want like classical to be
Yeah.
classical and yeah. Can you
Okay.
explain or can you explain that part?
Yeah, so it's not hard to implement the music in your own compositions. If you know the basics well, then you can implement it easily. I released a song few days back. That was also a Bengali song, but that song I was when I composed that song, that was in my mind is blues and the country style of music. The bluegrass, the
Mm.
country flavor of music. So that song has that flavor. So I worked on that song in that particular way to create that flavor. So first I learned that
Mm.
genre blues, then I composed that song, and that song got that flavor. So it's not like you have to work hard; you have to learn that genre from very basics. You should know the
Mm.
elements of that genre, what creates the differentiate from other genres. Then only you can implement it in your music too.
Exactly. Very nice words from you. And let us know, like, is there any kind of advice you want to suggest to our budding musicians, the ones that are just starting their journey in music?
Okay, so yeah, uh, don't spend more times with friends. Spend more times with your instrument. Trust me, it will give you benefits in long run.
Cool.
And
And
also listen to every single genre. Not like, okay, I'm a metal guitarist, so I'm gonna listen hold a metal. Not like that. A metal guitarist also can learn few things, few riffs from the blues as well. So listen to every genre. There is no barrier in music. So you can learn from any genre. So you have to listen.
great, great advice for our budding musicians. And like, can you let us know which one was your most best performance and the best venue till date you have performed?
Well, so in my college, I performed, and that was actually that was the last time I performed in my college, and for me that was a great evening I spent with my friends. They all sang together, and it creates a different environment altogether. So till date, that was the best for me performance.
All right. It is actually during college days and university days, the time we spend with our instrument and friends to cheer us up is always a precious is always a precious moment. and we'll always share your music. And jazz has got a new meaning from you today, uh, because you explained your part in simple words to our
It's
audience and listeners.
hard to explain jazz, it's so complex to explain because in jazz you can hear ragtime, blues, every single genres are there, classical also. So it's very hard to explain jazz in that way. You have to learn for that.
Hmm.
Then only you can think like how the jazz musicians think in their way.
Yeah, agreed. Because no genre is easy to learn, and no genre is different from any new genre that is going to sprung out like tomorrow. Like there might be a new version of jazz.
Obviously,
Uh,
there are
yeah,
like
it like
jazz people.
yeah, just like electronic music these days.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
one thought of electronic music, but it just created its own trend and buzz around the world, and people are like attending psychedelic music functions, Tomorrowland, and a lot of festivals that are like a hype that is creating a hype in today's youth and generation. And hence, jazz will always remain an oldie goldie because it will never interfere with any kind of music in our hearts. And it
It's
might the new version will always be appreciated, I believe.
obviously, as music is an
Hmm.
evolution process, so obviously we will come out with some new genres also, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And do you think your music has evolved
Obviously,
from the age of 16? From the age of 16.
obviously, a lot, and it evaluated in mainly in the pandemic mainly. So I practiced a lot in the pandemic, and after that I realized, okay, now it's different. The playing style also got different flavor. I learned few techniques, so I practiced a lot. So obviously, it is evaluated from when how I started.
All right. I think it's time now to wind up today's episode of Let Your Mind Blossom series. Jazz and Essential podcast was really fun. And having Subhashish sir with us, having a lot of experience from his musical journey, has taught us about how to experiment with our music, how to grow with your music, how to make music a part of your heart, how to give more importance to your instrument, how to sync with your instrument, and how to implement your thoughts and perspectives via your songs and original compositions uh, that we have to tell generations when they will be like in conflicts or in any kind of problems or solution. Music helps us a lot in tough times, and we heal together in tough situations. Jazz has always contributed its part, and today's guest, Subhashish Mandal sir, has really uh, taught us and imparted his perspective on the same. Uh, any last conclusive remarks you have for our audience?
Yeah, so listen to good music, support good music. Don't believe in mediocrity, believe in excellence.
Wow, nice words, nice words. Thank you so much again. We'd love to hear from you. I believe new tracks are about to be in your social media handles as well. Yeah, and we are waiting for your songs, and hope we connect again in the future
Sure,
for
sure.
more discussions and conversations.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It was a great day. Thanks. Bye bye.
Thanks, thanks for contributing your time, and thanks to Godduvel. He really tried his best, and if you have any words for him.
No. It happens sometimes. So
All right. All right. Thank you so much again. Wish you all the best for your future. Thank you for joining us.
thank you.